Waking up in the morning before I even set foot on the ground, I find solace in the quiet moments of conversation with God. It's become a sacred ritual, a moment of connection before the hustle and bustle of the day begins. For me, it's not just a habit, it's a declaration of faith, a reaffirmation that God is indeed the first priority in my life. To unequivocally declare that God holds the foremost position in one's life requires a profound introspection and commitment. It's easy for the demands of daily life to overshadow our spiritual devotion, to relegate God to the periphery of our existence. Yet in truth, such a relegation is not only foolish but also perilous. If we claim we don't have time for God, then we inadvertently admit that He does not occupy the central place in our lives. Reflecting on God's righteousness and His presence in every facet of existence is not merely an obligation, but a privilege. It's about acknowledging His sovereignty, His grace, and His unwavering love. From the grandeur of the cosmos to the intricacies of our own being, every aspect of creation bears the imprint of His divine craftsmanship. Thus, contemplating His righteousness becomes a source of profound gratitude and awe. Gratitude indeed is a cornerstone of spiritual practice. Amidst the rush of life's demands, it's easy to overlook the multitude of blessings, both big and small, that grace our lives each day. Yet, taking a moment to pause and offer thanks for these blessings fosters a sense of humility and appreciation. Whether it's the warmth of the morning sun, the laughter of loved ones, or the simple pleasure of a shared meal, each blessing is a testament to God's abundant goodness. Living to please the Lord isn't just about adhering to a set of rules or dogmas. It's about aligning our actions, thoughts, and intentions with His divine will. It's about striving for integrity, compassion, and righteousness in all that we do. It's about making decisions that honor God and reflect His love and wisdom. In essence, placing God first isn't a one-time declaration but a daily commitment. A commitment to seek His presence, to contemplate His righteousness, to express gratitude for His blessings, and to live in a manner that pleases Him. It's a journey of faith, marked by moments of prayer, reflection, and devotion. A journey that shapes not only our individual lives, but also the very fabric of our existence. It's a sobering truth that despite our best intentions, putting God first often becomes a challenging endeavor. The distractions of the world seem to multiply by the day, vying for our attention and pulling us away from our spiritual priorities. Many of us have experienced the well-intentioned resolve to start each day with prayer and study of the Word, only to find ourselves caught up in the whirlwind of tasks and obligations before we even realize it. Indeed, the world is teeming with distractions, be it the incessant notifications on our devices, the pressures of work and responsibilities, or the allure of worldly pleasures. These distractions stealthily creep into our lives, subtly nudging God to the sidelines and usurping His rightful place in our hearts and minds. You're absolutely right to point out that it's often not a conscious decision to neglect God, but rather a gradual erosion of our priorities amidst the chaos of daily life. Before we know it, the day has slipped away, and we find ourselves lamenting our failure to honor the commitment we made to spend time with God. Moreover, it's not just our time that comes under attack when we strive to prioritize God. The adversary, in his cunning and relentless pursuit, seeks to undermine our devotion in every aspect of our lives. He wages a relentless battle to divert our attention and resources away from God, whether it's through the lure of material possessions, the pursuit of worldly success, or the temptations that beset us on every side. Yet amidst the onslaught of distractions and the relentless assaults of the enemy, there remains a steadfast call, a call to keep God first, to cling to Him amidst the storm, and to trust in His unfailing grace and provision. It's a call to persevere in prayer, to seek His face with unwavering determination, and to guard our hearts and minds against the snares of the enemy. Ultimately, The struggle to put God first is not merely a battle of wills or a test of resolve. It's a spiritual warfare, a conflict for the very soul of humanity. But in the midst of this struggle, we find assurance in the promise that greater is He who is in us than he who is in the world. And with this assurance we press on, knowing that no distraction, no temptation, and no adversary can separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. For many years I found myself caught in the struggle of trying to fit God into my schedule. It was a constant battle, attempting to carve out pockets of time amidst the demands and distractions of daily life. Yet no matter how hard I tried, it seemed like God was always relegated to the sidelines, a mere afterthought in the grand scheme of things. Then one day, amidst my frustration and weariness, I heard a gentle whisper in my spirit, a voice that cut through the chaos and spoke with clarity and conviction. It was the voice of the Lord, gently asking, "Why don't you just work your schedule around me?" Those words hit me like a revelation. Here I was, trying to squeeze God into the tiny gaps of my timetable, when all along He was inviting me to rearrange my priorities, to place Him at the forefront of my life above all else. It was a paradigm shift, a realization that I needed to stop trying to fit God into my agenda, and instead center my entire existence around Him. So, with a newfound determination and resolve, I made a decision to put God first in every aspect of my life, regardless of the cost or the sacrifices required. It wasn't easy, and it required me to reevaluate my priorities, make adjustments, and sometimes even let go of certain pursuits or activities that were hindering my relationship with God. But let me tell you, the transformation was nothing short of miraculous. As I began to prioritize God above everything else, I experienced a profound sense of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. No longer was my faith confined to Sunday mornings or religious rituals. It permeated every facet of my existence, infusing my daily tasks and interactions with divine significance and meaning. Being a Christian ceased to be a mere label or identity. It became a way of life, a dynamic, vibrant journey of intimacy and communion with the Creator of the universe. And in embracing this lifestyle of devotion and surrender, I discovered a truth that transcended religion or doctrine. God doesn't just want to be a part of our lives. He longs to be the very center, the beating heart that animates and sustains us through every moment and every trial. So, my friend, I urge you to heed the invitation that echoes through the corridors of eternity, to make God the first and foremost priority in your life, above all else. It may require adjustments, sacrifices, and even moments of discomfort, but I can assure you, the rewards far outweigh the costs. For when God takes His rightful place at the helm of your existence, everything else falls into divine alignment, and you discover a richness and depth of life that surpasses all understanding. Indeed, it's a sobering reality that millions of people profess faith in Jesus and attend church regularly, yet fail to prioritize God in their daily lives. Despite our claims of devotion, it's easy to fall into the trap of relegating God to a compartmentalized aspect of our existence, rather than acknowledging His rightful place as the center of our being. The truth is, God's love and concern for each one of us surpasses our wildest imagination. Before we even took our first breath, we were already foremost in His thoughts and plans. It's a concept that stretches the limits of human comprehension, to fathom that the Creator of the universe, the one who spoke galaxies into existence, would consider us individually and intimately. Yet the Scriptures affirm this profound truth, that each of us is intricately woven into the fabric of God's divine purpose and design. From the moment of our conception, He has mapped out the course of our lives, guiding our steps and orchestrating every detail with meticulous care and wisdom. Imagine, if you will, the vast expanse of a sandy beach, each grain of sand representing a single thought in God's mind concerning you. The sheer magnitude of His thoughts towards us is beyond measure, beyond count. And within this infinite sea of divine contemplation, He has intricately planned out each day of our lives with a purpose and a destiny uniquely tailored to our individual journeys. It's a humbling realization to know that we are the objects of God's ceaseless affection and attention, and yet it's also a source of profound comfort and reassurance. For in the midst of life's uncertainties and challenges, we can rest assured that we are never alone, never forgotten. God's thoughts towards us are thoughts of love, of provision, of hope, and of a future filled with promise. So as we navigate the complexities of existence, let us remember this fundamental truth, that we are first in God's thoughts, and that His plans for us far exceed anything we could ever imagine. And may this awareness inspire us to live each day with purpose, with gratitude, and with a steadfast commitment to keep God at the forefront of our lives, where He rightfully belongs. Indeed, God's desire for us is not merely to exist, but to truly live, to walk in the fullness of His purpose and plan for our lives. He doesn't coerce or manipulate us into following His path. Rather, He extends an open invitation, beckoning us to walk alongside Him, to allow Him to guide and lead us through the intricacies of life. Every moment, every decision, every endeavor, we are invited to invite God into the midst of it all. This is the essence of what Jesus sacrificed His life for, to restore our relationship with God, to bridge the gap that sin had created, and to enable us to walk in communion with our Creator once more. It's a misconception to think that we only need God in moments of desperation or crisis. While it's true that God is our refuge and strength in times of trouble, He is also the very essence of our existence, the source of our life and vitality. To relegate God to a mere emergency option is to miss out on the richness and depth of relationship that He offers. So when we talk about spending time with God, it's not just a matter of setting aside a few minutes each day for religious obligation. It's about cultivating a continuous awareness of His presence, inviting Him into every aspect of our lives, and allowing His Spirit to permeate our thoughts, words, and actions. Indeed, why limit our communion with God to scheduled appointments or designated times? Why not engage with Him every 5 minutes, every moment of every day? For God is not meant to be a compartmentalized aspect of our lives. He is our life, the very breath that sustains us, the heartbeat that animates us. So, my friend, let us embrace the truth that God desires to be an integral part of our lives, not just in times of need, but in every moment, in every decision, in every breath we take. And as we walk in this intimate fellowship with Him, may we discover the fullness of joy, peace, and purpose that He alone can provide. It's a common temptation to pursue success, fulfillment, and happiness through our own efforts and accomplishments without acknowledging God's role in our lives. Many of us, myself included, have fallen into this trap, chasing after one achievement after another, hoping that each new milestone will finally bring the satisfaction and contentment we crave. For some, it might be the pursuit of a successful career, the attainment of wealth and material possessions, or the fulfillment of personal ambitions and dreams. And while these pursuits may bring temporary joy and pleasure, they ultimately leave us feeling empty and unfulfilled. Like a traveler wandering in the wilderness, we chase after mirages, illusions of happiness and fulfillment that vanish as soon as we grasp for them. We convince ourselves that if we just achieve one more goal, acquire one more possession, or reach one more milestone, we'll finally find the happiness we've been searching for. But time and time again, we're left disillusioned, yearning for something more. The truth is, true satisfaction and contentment can only be found in a relationship with God. He alone is the source of lasting joy, peace, and fulfillment. Without Him, our achievements and successes ring hollow, leaving us craving something deeper, something more meaningful. So, while it's admirable to pursue marriage, parenthood, career success, and other endeavors, let us not neglect the most important relationship of all, the one we have with our Creator. Let us seek His guidance, His wisdom, and His presence in every aspect of our lives, knowing that He alone can satisfy the deepest longings of our hearts. Indeed, there is a life of abundant joy, purpose and fulfillment that awaits us when we choose to walk in fellowship with God. It's a life that transcends the fleeting pleasures of this world, a life that brings contentment and satisfaction to every ordinary day. So, my friends, let us not settle for mere moments of happiness or temporary pleasures. Instead, let us pursue the abundant life that God has promised us, a life filled with His love, His peace and His presence every single day.